super unstoppable Coco Gauff, the young, tennis sensation's inspiring journey to greatness. Some stories don't simply rise, they ignite, they blaze, they burn their way into the world with the force of destiny. Coco Gauff's journey is one of those stories. It is a story of a young girl with a racket too big for her hands, who grew into a woman with a dream too big for the world to ignore. It is a story of a sensation who became a symbol, a champion who became a voice, a prodigy who became unstoppable. This is Coco Gauff's inspiring journey to greatness, a tale of passion, sacrifice, pressure, resilience, joy, heartbreak, and stunning triumphs. A dream born in a living room long before stadiums roared. Her name, Coco Gauff, was simply a little girl watching tennis on a small television in her family's living room. She wasn't dreaming of fame. She wasn't chasing spotlight. She wasn't imagining trophies taller than she was. She was mesmerized by one woman, Serena Williams. When Serena played, Coco didn't just see tennis. She saw possibility. She saw power. She saw a future that could be hers. At just 4 years old, she pointed at the TV and said, "I want to be like her." Nobody knew those words would shape the next decade of women's tennis. A family that built a champion behind every legend. There's a foundation made of sacrifice. Coco's parents, Corey and Candy, were not just supportive. They restructured their entire lives around her dream. Her mother left her job to homeschool her. Her father became her first coach, waking her at dawn for drills. The family drove hours to tournaments. They spent every spare dollar on equipment and court time. They believed in her on days she doubted herself. Coco didn't rise alone. She rose on a family's shoulders. But greatness is never easy. There were days Coco cried from exhaustion. Days she questioned whether she'd chosen the right path. Days the pressure felt too heavy for a child to carry. But every time she felt lost, her parents whispered the same message. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. And she believed them. The breakthrough, the moment the world felt her coming. At 15 years old, Coco Gauff walked on the grass courts of Wimbledon, not as a favorite, not as a star, but as a wild card teenager trying to prove she belonged. Her first round opponent, Venus Williams, a living legend, a woman. Coco had admired her entire childhood. But Coco didn't walk onto that court as a fan. She walked on as a fighter. Every point she played that day was fearless. A blend of youthful energy, mature composure, and natural talent. And then the unthinkable happened. She defeated Venus Williams. The world stopped. Social media exploded. Commentators struggled to find words. A new star wasn't just born. She had arrived with thunder. The world asked, "Who is this girl?" But Coco already knew the answer. She was Coco Gauff, and she was just getting started. The rise from prodigy to powerhouse. After Wimbledon, spotlight became her shadow. Fans adored her. Brands chased her. Pundits hailed her as the future of American tennis. But Coco didn't want hype. She wanted discipline. Day after day, year after year, she sharpened her serve, her footwork, her mentality, her forehand, power, her court intelligence, her resilience under pressure, and with every season she evolved. Coco wasn't just a rising star. She was a storm, gathering force. Big wins came, devastating losses came, but every time she fell, she stood up stronger. Her coach once said, "Coco learns from everything. Winning teaches her joy. Losing teaches her greatness." And he was right. The pressure that almost broke her greatness comes at a cost. The weight of expectations began, pressing into Coco's shoulders like stone. Fans demanded victories. Media analyzed every move. Critics compared her to Serena and Venus. Sponsors asked for perfection. Young players saw her as their hero. Coco was still a teenager, but the world expected her to be iron. She revealed later, "There were nights I cried because I didn't know if I was good enough." She battled self-doubt, anxiety, fear of failure, exhaustion, loneliness on the road, pressure to live up to a legacy. But she didn't break. She transformed. She learned to breathe. She learned to fight fear with focus. She learned to embrace pressure instead of running from it. She learned to define success on her own terms. And eventually, Coco became something terrifyingly powerful, a champion who understood her mind as deeply as her game. The turning point, the victory, that changed everything. Champions aren't born in easy matches. They're born in battles that push them to the edge. For Coco, that match was the one the world remembers as a turning point. She was down. She was struggling. She looked tired, overwhelmed, on the verge of defeat. But inside her, something sparked. Not anger, not desperation, but belief, a fierce, burning spark that whispered, "You're not done." And she rose. She chased every ball like it was oxygen. She hit winners from impossible angles. She defended like a wall forged from steel. She fought for every point, as though the world was watching. And they were. Her comeback became a highlight reel of magic. Her roar after match point shook the arena. She wasn't just a rising star anymore. She was a champion, the champion with a voice. Coco isn't great just because she wins. She is great because she speaks. She speaks for racial justice, women's empowerment, mental health awareness, young athletes, future generations. She uses her platform not as a pedestal, but as a microphone. Her speeches have gone viral. Her words have inspired millions. Her courage has opened doors for younger players. She once said, "If I'm blessed with voice, I'm going to use it." And she does. Tennis gave her a stage. Coco gave it meaning. The joy, the smile that won the world, despite pressure, despite expectations, despite the weight of being a global icon. Coco Gauff still smiles like a girl who loves the game. Because she does. She loves the rallies. She loves the cheering crowds. She loves the kids waving posters with her name. She loves the journey. She loves the fight. She loves the challenge. Her joy isn't fake. It's real. It's contagious. It's part of her magic. Coco proves that greatness doesn't have to be cold. It can be warm. It can be bright. It can be joyful. Where she stands today, unstoppable. Coco Gauff today isn't just a star. She's a force. A young woman with unmatched talent, mature wisdom, unbreakable spirit, blazing confidence, massive global influence, a legacy already forming, the unstoppable legacy of Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff's story is more than a sports narrative. It is a human story, a family story, a story of courage, a story of belief, a story of persistence, a story of fire. It is a story of a young girl who looked at Serena Williams and saw her future. It is a story of a teenager who didn't break under pressure. It is a story of a young woman creating a legacy built not on perfection but on passion. Coco Gauff is unstoppable because she understands a truth. Greatness is not a destination. Greatness is a journey. And Coco is still on hers, running, fighting, rising, shining. Her story continues. Her legend grows. Her future glows, and The world is watching in awe, in inspiration, in admiration as Coco Gauff, the unstoppable sensation, climbs toward greatness. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next